congratulations to California for being here in the competition on Monday. It's nice to see in the back of the room, too, that you have some friends and supporters here with you, even though you had quite a long distance to come relative to some. My name is Anthony Arapino. I'm an environmental attorney at the Conservation Law Foundation in Montpelier, Vermont. I'm really pleased to be judging on Monday for the first time, especially because I'm accompanied by a distinguished panel who will introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Pat Wong. I'm a retired Superior Court Commissioner from Sacramento, California.
My name is Joe Stewart. I'm a professor of political science at Clemson University in South Carolina. Welcome, and again, congratulations on your success.
Good afternoon. We're Unit 3 from Arcadia High School in Arcadia, California. Our unit focuses on how the Constitution furthers the ideals set forth in the Declaration of Independence. Before we introduce ourselves individually, we'd like to take a moment to introduce our teacher, Mr. Kevin Fox. My name is Jennifer Hang.
Hi, my name is Jesse Lee.
Hi, my name is Polly Wu.
Good afternoon, my name is Frank Wong.
Hi, I'm Angel Lin.
Nice to meet all of you, and we are in Unit 3, as you so helpfully pointed out, and because this is the third day of the competition, there's only one question left for us to ask, and that's number 1, and I'm going to read it through because I know that some others in the room may not be quite as familiar with it as you are. Question 1. An American scholar claims that, quote, because democracy is a government by persuasion and deliberation, it implies the existence of what in the British tradition is known as the loyal opposition, so long as the opposition is attached to the fundamental principles upon which democratic government is based. Organized opposition to the prevailing government is not only legitimate, but essential to its proper functioning. Do you agree or disagree, and why? How would you describe or define loyal opposition, and how would you distinguish it from obstructionism? What purposes should loyal opposition serve in a democracy? You may begin.
The term loyal opposition was coined in 1826, when John Hobhouse referred to the opposing party as His Majesty's loyal opposition. It describes a party out of power and with the second greatest number of seats in the British Parliament. It also describes the right of politicians in Parliament to oppose majority party policies without being treasonous, as long as the opposition is concurrent with the fundamental principles upon which democratic government is based.
We agree with Hallowell's primary assertion that the existence of loyal opposition is essential to deliberation and to the proper functioning of a democracy. It not only allows for the education of the voting public, which is the sovereign power in a democracy, but also acts as a check on the majority power. Additionally, it slows down government, which hopefully leads to well-thought-out legislation and the preservation of minority rights.
However, in the American political context, we define loyal opposition as a minority within a legislative body that expresses opposition to a majority policy or position for the purpose of encouraging deliberation or the pursuit of alternative policies, all for the benefit of the common good. Loyal opposition must use the legislative process without abusing procedures or paralyzing government. But if representatives abuse the legislative process to paralyze government, their actions qualify as obstructionism.
For example, this past February, Senator Shelby of Alabama placed an unprecedented temporary blanket hold on over 70 presidential appointees for the sole purpose of leveraging 2 defense contracts for his home state. Senator Shelby abused legislative process by bringing the confirmation of the appointees to a halt for reasons unrelated to their qualifications, making him an obstructionist rather than the loyal opposition.
Loyal opposition in a democracy serves the purpose of checking the majority. For example, this past February, Senator Jim Bunning initiated a filibuster on the unemployment benefits extension because he believed that when 100 senators are for a bill and we can't find the $10 billion to pay for it, there's something the matter. His actions had the effect of drawing attention to and promoting deliberation on the majority's policy of deficit spending.
Additionally, loyal opposition allows the people to gain an understanding of important issues through the exploration of multiple viewpoints. Prominent 19th century British philosopher John Stuart Mill, in his essay on liberty, wrote that we must have the complete liberty of contradicting and disproving opinion for the welfare of mankind.
A lack of law opposition in the legislative branch can lead to the creation of bad legislation, which may infringe upon fundamental rights. In 2001, Congress drafted and passed the Authorization for the Use of Military Force Act over 3 days. In the act, Congress delegated to the President the broad power to use all necessary and appropriate force to protect the United States from another act of terrorism.
Consequently, the President has been able to commit various constitutional rights violations, such as warrantless wiretapping. Had there been greater loyal opposition and deliberation during the drafting of the act, these and possible future violations could have been avoided through the creation of more specific and circumspect language.
Thus, we agree with Hallowell's assertion that organized opposition is essential to a democratic government's proper functioning. Loyal opposition informs the voting public, checks majority power, and slows down government, which hopefully leads to well-thought-out legislation. However, this is only true when the opposition does not obstruct the government in a way as to cripple it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would question, the founders did not provide for political parties in the Constitution itself, but what would you point to in the Constitution that suggests that the founders valued the notion of a loyal opposition?
I would look to Article 1, Section 6, Clause 1, which is referred to as the Speech and Debate Clause, which protects senators and representatives from being convicted of any crime in debate and speech that they make in both houses.
I would also look to Article 1, Section 9, Clause 2, which prohibits Congress from levying bills of attainder, bills of attainder against individuals, because back in England, it was common practice to levy bills of attainder against certain individuals who opposed the crown. For example, Sir Thomas Haxey criticized King Richard's lavish lifestyle and subsequently had his title taken away by a bill of attainder.
In addition, Article 1, Section 5, Clause 1 gives senators the power to call a quorum.
If you look to the Bill of Rights, the First Amendment granting us the freedom of speech, and since senators and congressmen are citizens, they are granted this right.
Okay.